Hey, what's up guys, Wakozy here. Tribbie just released in Honkai Star Rail and I have to say she's a fairly decent support character. She's easy to build, easy to play and pretty much works in any type of team composition you could possibly think of. Today I will go over everything you need to know regarding Tribbie. Her kit, how to gear her, what Lightcones to use, what stats to go for and quote-unquote team composition. Lastly, I will also talk a little bit about when to use her over other Harmony units because there are a few exceptions where you want to use Sunday for example. Without further ado, let us get started. Tribbie's kit is very simple and instead of going into every minute detail, I will simply explain to you how her kit comes together in combat assuming she's level 90. Tribbie's skill will give her a buff called Luminosity, which in turn will give your entire team resistance penetration for 3 turns. This buff in itself is extremely good because resistance penetration works for every damage type in the game. Break damage, damage over time, crit damage, it works for all of them. Furthermore, if you use her technique, you immediately gain luminosity as soon as you enter combat. Tribbie's ultimate will deal quantum damage to every single opponent on the field while also increasing your damage performance by 30% for 2 turns. Once again, this damage buff is universal, so it works for every single team composition you could possibly come up with. Lastly, her ultimate will allow Tribbie to do additional damage to the highest health opponent whenever your characters attack. Let us get into more detail when it comes to this aspect because it can be a little bit confusing for some people out there. The way it works is that whenever your characters are going to attack an opponent, Tribbie will deal 12% additional damage based on her own max HP. This damage will scale depending on how many enemies you're going to hit. For 1 enemy it will be 12%, and for 5 enemies we are looking at an insane 60% damage bonus. However, as mentioned before, she will only deal this damage to the highest health opponent on the field. Moving on, we have her talent. This one is very simple but allows her to do insane damage over a longer period of time. Every single time one of your characters uses an ultimate, Tribbie will do a follow-up attack hitting every single opponent on the field. This damage will once again scale via her own max HP and can technically only be used once per ultimate. However, Tribbie's own ultimate will reset that counter. So at the very end of the day, Tribbie will do additional damage whenever you use an ultimate. Lastly, we have Tribbie's passives. Most of them are not really that noteworthy because they simply increase your damage or your HP, but one of them quite literally dictates the way you gear her. Every single time one of your characters attacks, Tribbie is going to restore 1.5 energy. On top of that, she immediately gains 30 energy as soon as combat begins. This basically gives her so much energy regeneration that you kinda don't want her to take turns. We will talk about that more in our gearing section. And that is more or less everything you need to know regarding her kit. Tribbie is effectively playing herself as long as you pay attention to your buff uptime. As a small tip here, if you use her ultimate, make sure to use it either during or after Tribbie's turn. If she takes a turn immediately after using her ultimate, she will lose out on 1 stack of her ultimate's uptime. So try to pay attention to that. For builds, let us first talk about her Lightcones. Obviously the first one to come to mind here is her signature Lightcone, If Time Were a Flower. It will give her a huge crit damage buff and after she launched a follow-up attack, so basically whenever one of your characters uses an ultimate, she is going to restore additional energy. Furthermore, she is going to get a buff called Presage, which will further boost her own crit damage as well as her allies' crit damage, right? So a big crit damage boost for everyone. And lastly, when entering combat, she's going to restore a huge amount of energy and gain Presage right away. This Lightcone will allow you to use Tribbie's ultimate as soon as you enter combat, so it is very good. But it is not necessary on her, especially considering some of our alternative Lightcone options and Eidolon 1, which, spoilers ahead, is very good. A Lightcone which you can use instead of her signature one is going to be Dance Dance Dance. Tribbie is going to use a lot of ultimates throughout combat and because of that, Dance 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 action advancement will be extremely good at lower superimposition levels. And a lot of people probably have this Lightcone by now, so if you can, absolutely make use of it. If you don't have Dance 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 or her signature Lightcone, you can go for Memories of the Past or Mashing Cogs. For Tribbie, it is all about maintaining her ultimate uptime. So using Lightcones, which will help you with that, are going to be extremely valuable. Moving on, we have her Relics, and depending on your Lightcone you have different options to choose from. Let me explain how these options come together so you can decide which one you are going to go for. If you have a high frequency attack team, so Aglaea for example, or any other follow-up attack team, or her signature Lightcone, you can go for our new Poet set. This will increase her quantum damage and also reduce her overall speed, which is very good when it comes to Tribbie. If you don't have her signature and you're using Dance 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 or any of our other Lightcones, you probably want to have a little bit of speed on her so you can use her ultimate earlier. One way of doing that is to go for one whack. Just go for 120 speed and Tribbie's action will be advanced by quite a lot. Your relics do not matter in this case. You can go for various two-piece combinations including our Poet set, depending on what you have. Messenger works, quantum sets work, whatever you have, just make use of it. And lastly, if you're using Poet in combination with her signature, then using Lushaka is a very good option. When it comes to main stats, we have a very simple character here. Crit rate or crit damage on her chest, HP percentage on her boots or speed if you're using one whack, HP on her orb, and energy regeneration on her link rope. For substats, just go for crit rate, crit damage and HP. That is about it. As usual, crit rate is extremely important. After all, you want her to destroy your enemies, so try to get around 80 to 90% crit rate and you're good to go. Everything else can go into crit damage and HP. Like I said earlier, super simple to build, and if you want to, you can even go ahead and completely skip all of the damage aspects and just gear her as a standard support character without paying attention to crit rate and crit damage. Obviously you're going to lose out on damage, but Tribbie's most important aspect is not her damage, but rather the giant damage buff she's going to provide to your entire team. So keep that in mind. Now usually at this point I would talk about different team compositions, but in the case of Tribbie this feels kinda, a little bit redundant as she can be used everywhere. Instead, let us talk a little bit about where she shines and where you might want to switch her out for another support character. First, we have high frequency of attack teams. Characters who come to mind here are Aglaea, Lingsha, Jade, Fei Xiao and so on. Your typical follow-up attack team. Tribbie will gain a lot of energy here, so she can basically spam her ultimate 24/7, and if you're using Dance Dance Dance, it becomes even better. Secondly, we have erudition teams. So once again, Jade or Herta, characters like that. Usually you use erudition teams in activities where you have a lot of enemies like Pure Fiction for example, and Tribbie's kit perfectly works in those scenarios. And lastly we have our duo DPS compositions, so a Herta team, a Fei Xiao team and so on. Her damage buffs work for every single character on the field, so fairly decent for duo DPS as well. But where do you not want to use her? Well, naturally in teams where you're not going to do a whole lot of attacks. Arc1 is the best example, even though you can see her in our footage here from time to time. If you're not going to do a lot of attacks, or if you're only fighting a single opponent, Tribbie's kit will naturally fall off. This is most likely due to balancing reasons, as having a support character who outshines all other supports in every scenario imaginable is kinda broken. Furthermore, there are certain scenarios where you might prefer other support characters over Tribbie, like Robin for follow-up attack heavy teams, Ruin Mei for break effect, or Sunday for Aglaea specifically. However, Tribbie's buffs are universal, and at high investment she will also do a lot of damage. So if you don't have Robin or Ruin Mei for example, then Tribbie's value is simply put insane. So yeah, Tribbie is a fairly decent support character even at free-to-play levels, and she will most certainly help your account out if you're lacking Harmony support characters. Lastly, considering I didn't talk about Eidolons, let me make this as simple as it can be. Eidolon 1 over her signature Lightcone. As simple as that. So if Jades are a problem for you, then you can safely skip her signature Lightcone and go for Eidolon 1. I hope this video helped out any future Tribbie mains, and if it did, then leave a like and a sub. I will continue to do Honkai style content, and every once in a while I will also drop a lore video. So if you're interested in that stuff, then you found a new home. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.